Hey guys, Justin here again from 275 Times. We're back again with Dr. Va'aiga Autagavaia, who has been working on the front lines during this COVID-19 pandemic, and we just wanted to talk to him again about where things are at now that we're halfway through this period of lockdown. How are you this evening, Va'aiga?
So, Justin, kia ora. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, bro. Just came back from a run. My first or second of two runs in like 9 months. So
Oh wow, oh wow,
pretty
awesome.
hard, but it's been good. Friends
Yeah,
have
yeah.
encouraging each other to kind of get out and do a certain number of kilometers a week. So it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Now, I know you've expressed some concern that, that now we've been into the lockdown and only 2 weeks have gone, but people are starting to feel like
Mm.
we're getting on top of things. What would you be your warning or just caution to people as a doctor and someone who knows South Auckland?
Yep. Everyone's done well for these first 2 weeks, and everyone should be really happy and proud of the efforts on the whole. But we're only 2 weeks in, and uh, the government has said that it's 4 week initially for at alert level 4. So we do have at least 2 weeks to go. Initially, I was wondering whether a sports analogy would suit better, but I guess if you're going to go down that line, you probably don't want to be like the Warriors and clock out the first part of the second half, coming back of
Yeah,
half time. You want to really come out strong and finish that second half well. So for everyone to just not be too relaxed, definitely be happy about where we're at. And, I think just today was announced only the second death in New Zealand, which is
mm,
sad,
mm, mm,
but it is a good thing that they've only been two.
mm.
And that's because of what everyone's done so far. If we want to keep those numbers down low, then everyone needs to, especially our families in South Auckland, our Pacific and Māori and others here, got to keep up our good effort and sticking to the lockdown rules, staying home, staying in your bubble,
Mm.
and not getting too relaxed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now you went back to Samoa recently or late last year, didn't you, to just help doctors and the medical staff over there following the measles outbreak. What did you kind of learn from that experience, which might be relevant to what's going on here in New Zealand?
Yeah, I went in mid-January, early January to Samoa, and that was part of a couple of volunteer groups that sent medical and nursing and other staff over to help support the doctors and nurses that are in Samoa. By that stage, it was about 3 months since the measles outbreak in Samoa had really hit Samoa pretty hard with, I think in the end, about 80 odd deaths and mostly children.
Would you say that us being vigilant in New Zealand can protect those in the islands, though? Is that an important thing to be thinking about?
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know officially, but I'm pretty sure that the measles was taken over to Samoa last year by someone from New Zealand. Whether that was a Samoan or not, they were travelling back. I don't know, but the point is that it came from New Zealand, and in the same way with the current COVID-19, that's where the islands are vulnerable. Obviously, our big populations here, especially in South Auckland, and we know that we travel lots for family events and things, and that's a very obvious vulnerability that if we can take care here in New Zealand, that will also be protecting our families and friends back in the island. So, yeah, our work here will also make a huge difference for those islands.
Now, you just mentioned, I think, on Facebook earlier today about the Spanish influenza and the effect that had on Samoa. And what
Yeah.
would what would you like to share about that, and how does it relate to our situation today?
We've had some really good progress, and there's just been a few more cases in the last week or so in South Auckland. But I also heard a few stories of, I think it was on the news, that there are cover clubs still going, that there was some bingo, so some bingo going on, and some families, just just what people had seen and put it on social media, that families were visiting each other by the carload. And to me, with Pacific and Māori people, we're definitely at such great risk. Number one, because we have so many existing medical conditions. We all know someone who's got diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, and they may be old or they may even be young. So that puts us at greater risk with coronavirus. If we do get it, that our people will become a lot more unwell, to the point where they're going to need intensive care, as you hear so much in the media about how when it gets really bad, and that closely relates to the number of deaths. So our people are really high risk of all these things. And then on the other hand, the way our people live, we know that our people live in poverty, overcrowding, and like you and a lot of the work that you've done, Justin, a lot of people don't even have homes, living in cars. So you introduce something like the coronavirus and how it spreads amongst people so easily, and how bad people can become in terms of health, how sick they can become. It's just a really worrying combination of factors. So that's what my post was about, just trying to say that people need to take care. Looking back at history, the Spanish influenza, brought havoc across the world in 1918. But for populations like in the Pacific and indigenous populations who hadn't experienced big pandemics like that or disease like that, there was a lot more damage done. So Samoa was very much like that, and that it was introduced by a ship that had travelled to several places in the Pacific, and before coming to Samoa, people were quarantined because they were sick, but in Samoa, for some reason, they were allowed to disembark, and then it just spread through the whole population, where some estimates say 1 in every 4 people in Samoa died at that time. So that's pretty horrific toll for any place, but especially for obviously where I'm from and where a lot of us in South Auckland from Samoa. So if we can avoid that, we should try our best, and that comes back to these next 2 weeks, everyone trying their best to stay within their bubbles, keep to the lockdown instructions, just do what we can.
That's a very sobering but important reminder, and thank you so much just for sharing that again with us this afternoon and this evening. So we'll just thank you for coming on, and just say stay safe, informed and connected, whānau, and until next time, this is 275 and ka kite.
Ka kite.